Alright, what's going on, guys? Connor on Chain. Special video today. We're going to be talking about the Drake leak today. As you can see, no, I'm just playing. Yo, so today I'm just going to do a general market overview. Bunch of different stuff going on. I just realized, too, my lights are, like, really dim. But like I said, market has been fairly flat aside from, like, a couple narratives going on. So I'm going to drop a video. I don't know if I'm dropping it before this or after this, but this is going to be talking about ERC 404. This was a new narrative that kind of just came out. And ERC 404, I'm not going to get too into it, but bottom line, we've had a lot of hype going on around that. We had a coin just do a literal 10, 15, 20x over like a span of 3 or 4 days. Pandora, that was kind of nuts. But that was kind of a crazy one, honestly. As you can see, we got Mog has just been honestly looking good. It looks like it's finally preparing for its like actual leg up. Yeah, as people know, Mog has just been, it's literally just been so steady, not really doing much for a long time, but it's inevitable. So, but anyways, we're gonna go to CoinGecko too. I'm gonna show you guys a bunch of just a couple gems, that I cover fairly often. We're gonna just check them out. I wish I could delete this one off of CoinGecko. Please get that out of there. I don't know what I just did too. Oh, alright. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna jump in. Actually, yeah, we'll go to some new stuff too. We've had Heroes of Mavia. So Mavia, this is actually a dope project that I've seen this a lot. Been on my radar literally since I think 2022. I saw this in the last bull run, like the Mavia lands. They got an NFT, have NFT lands. I've seen it for a while, but I never really jumped into it a few years ago. But so what they're doing is they're aiming to build kind of like a Clash of Clans with just crypto tokenomics or crypto economics in it. I think it's super interesting, and like the lands, you can buy the lands and then use the lands in the game, and there's way more to it. If you guys watch OX Hustlepedia, he's got a huge rundown of Mavia. I actually just watched that recently, and it made me really bullish on the game itself. 'Cause I think even 82 million is not, that's not even that big for where something like this could go. But obviously it launched and it's just been kind of sitting. I don't expect this to really go up much more. Probably going to be dumping over the next 2 months, in my opinion. That's usually what 80% of altcoins do, cryptos do. So if this can go to around $1, even $1.50, I think long term that's going to be a great buy. That'll probably put that around maybe 30 million in market cap. But also even the market cap to FTV is very tiny. But again, when coins usually launch, they're gonna be small. They're never, most of the time, unless they have allocation set, huge supply like already set aside for whatever reasons. Usually, coins aren't gonna launch. They're not gonna launch with a ton of already circulating supply. So that's just been a new one. Just been watching that. I'm not really invested in it. I'm not doing anything with it, but it's been on my radar a little bit as of the last like couple days here. We also had another major dump from Olas. So Auto Olas came down to like three 350 yesterday. So that was a huge dump, and it's already up to $4.30 today. I think that was a massive dip for Olas, and I think the FUD had to do with some VC allocation. Good chunk of the supply just had no vesting period, no unlocks, nothing like that. So whoever the VC was or multiple VCs, I'm not sure. When they got their allocation from whatever it was, I don't know when. I don't know too much about it, but just fun around that. How basically 10% of the supply was in 1 to maybe a span of 1 to 10 wallets regarding one VC or multiple VCs. Like that's it. And I understand like that can be detrimental to price, especially if they dump all that supply at one time. That's huge sell pressure that can be thrown into the market at any period. But I think the market itself dumped even more just on the idea that, hey, this is actually what can happen, than if it actually like if that 10% of the supply actually just dumped. It had a huge drop yesterday. I think it was down like 40%, or in the span of a couple days it was down like 40, 30 something, 40%. I was like, oh my god. But that's what I mean too. Something I want to bring up about FUD, guys. When you see FUD in this market, like I know that depending on what actually happens with the project, different FUD is good, different FUD's bad. But when you have like minor things like this, in my opinion, this is minor FUD. I don't, fundamentally the team is still delivering. The team really hasn't changed. Maybe yeah, they could have done better with their distribution of their tokens like that and allocation, but you know, at the same time, if people didn't even know that happened, no one would even know that, and two would even care. But again, the team's still building, still doing their thing. And they still got a huge grasp on AI agents. They're still one of the first movers in this kind of current narrative, and just something to do with like a small allocation issue. I think it's minor FUD. Yeah, the only thing I question about Olas is this is very tiny. If this is actually like the current circulating, I I'm kind of curious as to why it's only so little right now. But again, I still think Olas is absolute gem long term. I think it's gonna be a killer project no matter what's happening, unless obviously some BS actually happens with it. But Olas is a killer. AI agents is probably going to be one of the hottest narratives in AI, probably in the end of 2024. I have no doubt in my mind. Because I've talked about it in another video recently, but it's probably one of the most feasible things that can actually be developed very soon, in which real people, real businesses wherever across the world can actually integrate and use this stuff. That's why I'm so bullish on AI agents specifically, because that's tech that is going to be, usable very soon for a handful of people, if not millions of people in their businesses. That's why I think it's going to be gigantic. It's already been huge. You could just see this ran upwards of 300 million in market cap, from pennies down here, upwards a few pennies, 10 cents, 15 cents to like what, $7, $8 almost in the span of like 6 to 8 months. It's crazy. In the middle of a bear market, right? Or well, back here, yeah, it was kind of still a bear market, but in that upward move we had over the last 3 or 4 months, yeah, that was nuts. But bottom line, just want to bring Olas up because, like I said, there was some FUD on it yesterday. But again, if you bought the dip, you're already up 20%, at least 10-20%, which isn't too bad. And we still got a bunch of coins across the board. Again, fundamentally, most coins haven't changed. Price is the only thing that's changed. And obviously we got Bitcoin still doing its thing. Been literally ranging, excuse me, oh my god. Bitcoin's been ranging from what, 40, yeah, I'd say in between around 41 to like 45K for at least a month, maybe almost 2 months. December into January into February. Or for literally 2 months, Bitcoin has just been doing absolutely nothing. I know a move is going to be imminent soon for Bitcoin. And if you guys have seen my channel videos before, I'm kind of a bear in the markets. I'm not the kind of person that's just gonna be up only, up only, up only. Even though the market kind of is like that, I'm not gonna lie. With all the bullish news and factors coming up over the next year, I just want to see Bitcoin dump one more time. Because once that dump hits, I will be a bull. I will be up only until literally 2025, probably mid 2025. I will be probably the biggest bull that you'll ever see in the game. But I still think downside is imminent before a major, major next leg up. Especially from now, we still have months until the halving, and usually even so when the halving hits, usually not much goes on in the market, at least for another couple months, maybe 2 to 4 months after the halving is usually when we see like unbelievable gains. Like that's when we see these monumental movements like this. Because the halving in 2019, 2020, the halving was, I think it was April, some sort of April or May in 2020. What happened like during the halving? Literally nothing. Price kind of just chilled, sat for months until what? October, into November, into December, into January, February, March. Had that huge run, but that again, that was months after the halving. And we're still about a month and a half. It's February, March, April. No, it's about just a little over 2 months still before the halving, let alone that few months span after the halving that we still need. So we still got a minimum of like 6 months now to either accumulate at any sort of levels, accumulate the coins you like, the coins you want, to continue researching into those gems that really are going to pull 50, 100 X's over the span of the next year and a half. And there's something else I was going to add to that tied this together, but I forget already. But what I was going to get at anyways is, like I was saying, a nice dip here would be absolutely key for the whole market. I think that's the only thing we need left. And I think everything is going to just be up only. I have a feeling that's what people are waiting on too. Big dumps. I think Bitcoin's going to get eaten up pretty hard. But like I said, we still got a span of 4 to 6 months until I really do think we see major monumental movement to the upside, like we saw here, or like we saw, here in the last cycle too. So it's from now in between then is kind of where, in my opinion, it's still going to be a gray area for this market. I don't think it's going to be up only for the next 6 months. And then 6 months after the halving, it's going to continue to like climb like crazy. I think it might just be very low, pretty dull in the market for a little while. Before Bitcoin eventually decides to just continue to make another break of a local high here. Maybe it goes 50, 52K, maybe in April, May, June, July, or August. Eventually when it decides to actually move up again. And then from there, it's just going to take off, hit like 70, 80, maybe like 88,000, 90,000. So that's what I see happening in the market. But just wanted to put a bunch of this stuff out there. Just give you guys my thoughts on the market, some coins today. I'm going to be dropping some videos very soon on some new stuff, and just going to be making a bunch of almost like lists of, different coins, like 5 to 10 coins in each narrative that, I really do believe in. And then just miscellaneous videos like coming up soon too, just talking about different coins that you guys can be allocating into. So just keep an eye out. All that stuff's coming. And as of today, that's what I got for you guys. So I appreciate you listening, and I'll see you in the next one.